What's the matter, Hangman? Can't sleep?
Cowboy shit!
I need my older brother!
Who the fuck is Rip Garrison? Goddamn Delete, baby, back real.
You are now listening to Dark Side of the Elite with Randy Charpentier, Eric Reed, and Matt Roberts.
It's a bitch. Sorry.
Do you play this weekend or next weekend with Jason?
I'm on the 31st.
Oh,
so not
2 weeks.
So not this one, the one after.
Royal Rumble weekend right after.
I think Royal Rumble's like, which day's the Rumble?
The week before.
It's this coming Sunday, right? It's this coming Sunday, isn't it, the Rumble?
24th, isn't it?
Yeah, this coming Sunday then. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm on the 31st. Which day is that?
Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
So I'm a week after the Rumble.
Yeah, but you're within that week, right?
Does the Sunday count?
I don't know. I'd watch.
I'm definitely gonna watch the Rumble, but I'm gonna have to watch the Raw. I'm gonna have to watch SmackDown, NXT, and AEW.
Oh, yeah.
It's the week in wrestling, right? I don't think it would encompass fucking. Am I gonna have to watch Impact and fucking Ring of Honor and shit too?
I don't think Ring of Honor.
Right, or fuck MLW.
CZW highlights.
What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch them and just kind of make notes on who won, who lost, an angle, like who's involved in angles and shit like that. Just watch and write that shit down because I have a feeling Jason will be like, who pinned this guy in the 6-man tag on Raw or something, like who made the pin, who took the fall. Like I don't know what the hell he's gonna ask, but there's probably be shit like that, right? Or who interfered in the main event on SmackDown or something. Like I'm guessing it's gonna be shit like that.
The good thing with Jason though, his questions are normally only like 5 to 6 seconds long. They're not like 20 seconds. Like who did this, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Added on to it.
No, yeah, that's fine. I'm just trying to figure out what type of information I should be trying to retain, right? Because it's not week in wrestling. It's like, okay, is it going to be who got in a Twitter feud with someone, or is it going to be like well, who did the opening promo on Raw, or like what is it going to be, right? Like
listen to his thing last night, and that's what I go by.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Right?
Okay, so finally, the boys have come back to podcasting. We are back for another week of Dark Side of the Elite to Sweet, and we are reviewing Duped, BTE number 239. What's going on, boys?
Not much. How you doing today?
Great. Yeah.
Oh, I'm good. Just enjoying some pale ale. Just enjoying the day.
We're all in lockdown still. Another week of just trapped at home here in near Toronto, Ontario. All the boys are locked at home due to COVID quarantine. So that means lots of time for professional wrestling.
Yay.
Right? What else could we want to do anyway? Stay at home, no work, watch wrestling, drink beer, and do podcasting. We are in our glory. And we are here for you, the millions of our podcast listeners. Randy has got an orb of sorts. What is that, Randy?
The world.
Describe it for the ones not watching YouTube.
It's the moon.
It's
a
the
smaller
moon.
version. Look, you can see a crater right there. Can you see it?
No, not really.
You see the Apollo module and the footprints all on there and the flag?
No.
It was a hoax. That's why.
Oh.
Damn it. No, I'm just
Hansy
kidding.
coming next week. Listen, folks.
Hansy coming next week. But no conspiracies on this podcast. It's not a Joe Rogan show. This is the Dark Side of the Elite, and we are reviewing BTE. And this week, we are starting off with the Bullet Club. We have Kenny, Don Callis, and the Young Bucks, a clip of them backstage at Dynamite last week, setting up the 6-man tag of what should have been the Elites, Kenny and the Young Bucks. But the Young Bucks get duped. Kenny makes his entrance, and the Young Bucks were expected to follow, because as Don Callis mentioned, you guys got a great entrance. You deserve to come out yourselves. But as Don Callis introduces the Young Bucks, or as we thought he was going to, we get Gallows and Anderson instead coming through the crowd, So Gallows and Anderson team with Kenny on Dynamite. The Young Bucks are left backstage, kind of embarrassed.
What's up with that?
What's up with that? And the Young Bucks we got a clip of the Young Bucks backstage kind of watching Kenny make his entrance. They hear Gallows and Anderson get introduced, and they're not happy. They're flipping the double bird at Kenny and the boys in the ring from backstage. And after the match is over, we get the Young Bucks confronting Kenny and Gallows and Anderson backstage, and they're not happy. They want to know what that was all about and why they did what they did. And Kenny said that they didn't know that it was going to be set up like that. He had no idea it was going to happen. They're playing dumb. It's implied by the Young Bucks. Well, we know who did do it, implying Don Callis kind of had this set up the whole time that he was going to embarrass the Young Bucks, team Kenny with Gallows and Anderson. So there's friction right off the bat with this new formation of the Bullet Club. Gallows and Anderson say they didn't know what was going on. Kenny didn't know what was going on. And Gallows and Anderson say, you know what? We thought we were going to Orlando for the Impact tapings and that they thought they'd just kind of swing through to get a payday. Carl and Luke say, you know what? We don't even like wrestling, man. Like, we'd rather not even. And but the Young Bucks are like, you guys are already in gear. Like, what's going on here? And Carl mentions that this betrayal isn't real, okay? So they throw up the too sweet. The Young Bucks are a little hesitant about it. But Kenny assures them that they're going to talk to Don Callis, clear this all up. And the Young Bucks say, luckily we're set for life. And Carl Anderson makes mentions like, well, we're not set for life anymore. We got canned during a pandemic. And Kenny and Gallows and Anderson bounce because Kenny says, you know what, we're not welcome here anymore. We can't stick around. And Nick says, well, we got to stay here and watch Dark for 12 hours.
True.
Which I thought was hilarious. But the guys are a little upset about it, but they say, as long as this wasn't planned, we're cool. And Matt also says they got a new EVP room. If you guys want a new dressing room to use, going back to last week with the new room they got for Matt Hardy.
Yep. Can they get in yet?
Yeah, we'll find out later. And Gallows, Anderson, and Kenny, they kind of say, okay, we'll get a car service, an Uber, we're out of here. And once they leave, Matt and Nick kind of say, you think that was planned? And Matt Jackson says that was 1,000% planned. They lied to us. So right off the hop here, 1 week into this glorious Bullet Club reunion, we already have friction. And is Don Callis kind of planting this bit of a seed here of some, I don't know, what's he doing? Like, is he trying to embarrass the Young Bucks? Is he trying to turn Kenny and the Bucks against each other? Or like, why would this be happening already kind of thing?
I have no idea, but as the show goes on, you'll notice it's an ongoing theme with the Bucks getting duped, I guess. It's a perfectly named episode this week. So, Don Callis, maybe not. Maybe it's all of them, Kenny and the boys, trying to figure it out. They're trying to do
well, I was thinking, it seemed a little like weird to turn, like, because Kenny and Gallows and Anderson are technically heels, I guess, in this scenario, right? And the Bucks have been baby faces since winning the titles from FTR. And I thought turning the Bucks kind of heel with these guys was maybe a little too soon, but this seems to me to kind of plant the seed of just a temporary Bullet Club reunion, which will split into 3 versus 3, which my guess is Kenny and Gallows and Anderson going against the Bucks with John Moxley maybe as their third guy. But
well, I could absolutely see that, only because they keep coming out and defending Moxley. Well, not defending him, but getting them to stop the beatdowns on Moxley, right?
Right. They've planted that seed already a little bit of the Bucks not too happy of the heel actions, but wanting to stick with their buddies. But they usually, AEW does a really great job of extending these storylines. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Young Bucks and Kenny, they're still together for a little bit here, but they're planting seeds along the way of a little bit of dissension, or the Bucks not liking Don Callis kind of being the invisible hand, kind of steering Kenny and Gallows and Anderson away from the Bucks or putting something between them. But I guess we'll see where it goes. I'm not explaining it great right now, but
it was him, Austin. It was him all along.
Sorry, guys. I had real life problems. I don't know if you heard it in the background. My turtle was screaming. So I'm busy with this stuff. Sorry.
I didn't even know turtles could scream.
Oh, no.
I'll only Splinter.
Sorry.
You dirty rat! You
like
killed my
problem.
brother.
But yeah, Young Bucks.
Yeah, do you want to sum up your thoughts on this angle and where it's going right now, Randy? Because we thought we were getting that glorious Bullet Club reunion, and 1 week later, we already have the Young Bucks kind of split off already, like a little bit from Gallows and Anderson and Kenny, with Don Callis being the one kind of in between them.
I have no clue. I always like looking to the future way far ahead too. The only thing, like if the Bucks split off from them, the Bullet Club or whatever, the Elite, I should say, who would be the third? Like if Kenny who?
Jon Moxley.
Jon Moxley, you think?
Jon Moxley and the Bucks against Gallows, Anderson, and Kenny, because Moxley's been involved in this angle with the beatdowns, and the Bucks did kind of save him a little bit there.
Do you think though that after Jon Moxley being part of a trio, we'll call it in the past, that he'd want to do it? I think he's more of an independent type guy. It's only my opinion, but
not to make a full-fledged stable, but if there is a match here to be where it's the Bucks going against Don Callis's version of this Bullet Club here, where if the Bucks say we've had enough of Callis's bullshit, and if you had to make a 3-on-3 match, who that third to team with the Bucks would be right now, with Moxley still being involved in this storyline, to me it seems to be him, and that would be a great main event. That could main event a pay-per-view easily.
Yeah, Revolution or something. That could be that. Like, I'm looking even further than that. I'm thinking actually, with what's going on with BTE and everything else with AEW, I'm thinking actually Adam Page might get back in the loop with the Bucks.
The long-term storytelling in AEW, I could totally see that all circling together. This could go weeks,
yeah.
But it seems like, because it's a heel stable with Callis, Kenny, and Gallows and Anderson, and the Bucks are still kind of hanging on as baby faces, right?
Yeah.
So if the Bucks are still going to be baby faces representing AEW, maybe that's the way it goes. But I could be made to
definitely be baby faces in this role, right?
Exactly, right? So it could be made to look foolish projecting all this stuff, but that's why we love wrestling. We'll see where it goes.
That's it.
Next clip of the show, we have Jeff Jones with Nick and Matt, and they have the cardboard cutouts that they were putting in as seat fillers at the Jacksonville Jaguars game. And Matt Jackson brings back the autograph face for a second week in the row and signs the cardboard, and he lets us know it's back. So quick little clip there. And moving on, we have the boys in the Dark Order, in the Dark Order lair. And we got Stu Grayson on the phone saying he needs a real horse made of chocolate. Not dipped in chocolate, but made of chocolate.
A real horse, bud.
And
chocolate
you may be wondering...
Oh, man.
A real chocolate horse.
So you may be wondering why he's trying to get a chocolate horse, but Evil Uno lets us know, everyone calm down. We have 2 days until Adam Page joins the Dark Order. So the guys are getting a celebration ready, a party ready for Adam Page. And Evil Uno says he's getting him an inflatable castle like his 4th birthday, which he doesn't remember, but he's seen pictures and it looks really cool.
I'd like a bouncy castle.
Who doesn't like a bouncy castle?
I do.
John Silver even says that Hangman loves to bounce, but Cole Cabana says Hangman hates bouncers. And as a drunk cowboy, that kind of makes sense. Hangman's probably punched out a few bouncers in his day.
True. Acting all daddish again, eh?
Acting all daddish, that's right. He's trying to get the dad gimmick over. But Alex Reynolds looking for a catchphrase. He says he's getting real-life mermaids for Hangman's party. And
Matt,
Evil Uno says...
Oh, would they be Pacific or Atlantic mermaids?
How dare you insult me thinking I'd get Pacific mermaids?
Oh.
Atlantic mermaids are my life. And he wants to know, is that a good catchphrase? Atlantic mermaids are my life.
Catchphrase number one of the episode.
I would think how dare you insult me is a better one.
True.
There's so many options. There's so many options for that.
Atlantic mermaids, I don't think that one will fly, but it was pretty funny. I didn't know there were Atlantic and Pacific mermaids, but now that I think about it, I guess so, right?
Have you ever seen a Lake Ontario mermaid?
What?
Oh my God, where are you going with this?
Nowhere.
No. Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
Okay. So no. I love it. Cole Cabana, he says he's got the plates, the utensils. He's gonna get some 2 liters of Pepsi or Coke. And
What?
10 says, "Don't worry about it. I got the Coke."
Our man has the Coke again.
He's always got the party favors.
That's it. And Cole Cabana being the dad, bringing the utensils, plates, and Pepsi. Yeah?
Ah, that's right. But you should kind of put a kibosh on the Coke. What kind of dad lets that fly? But we asked number 5. What is he gonna do?
Come to my trailer park. Sorry.
5, Alan Angels. He wants to get cowboy boots made of bacon, but the boys point out he's wearing an "I hate bacon" tank top.
What?
5 says not that he hates bacon. They got it. Bacon has a toxic fan base. He hates the fan base more than bacon itself.
That's a terrible thing to say.
I disagree, by the way. I love bacon.
Yeah, I love bacon too.
But do you love bacon's fan base?
Yes, I do. Would you guys like to meet after this discussion and we'll have some bacon on the porch?
We're not allowed. We're in lockdown.
We'll be 18 feet apart. I'll be at the end of the driveway.
Yeah, throw some bacon my way. And then we get Anna, what do you got?
That was the best only because she's corpsing the entire time. And then you see her do this, and then you see Colt grab her hand and pull it away. So she has no choice but to not break.
Yeah, she broke. She broke again. She keeps breaking. But it's great seeing Anna break all the time. I love it.
That's exactly what I wrote down. That's so funny. Yeah, she breaks all the time. John Silver, he says he's got a big crazy banner when hot cheerleaders come out dancing like this. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. So he's been working on his dance. He's got the cheerleaders coming for Hangman. And then all of a sudden, speak of the devil, Hangman enters the scene. And the whole Dark Order all together say, "Adam, get the fuck out of here." Because he's not supposed to be hearing about their surprise party plans. So Hangman takes off. And the Dark Order is so excited. He said he's going to be so surprised for his party. And claws up, friends. So I guess it's claws up. We've been saying paws up this whole time. But I guess it's both, right?
It's both.
It's both.
Well, why the hell would you want to kick somebody out even though you're doing a party for them when you try to get them in? That wasn't a smart move, Dark Order.
Well, they don't want to ruin the surprise.
You change the subject. We do, Matt, we do it with Eric all the time.
This is why the Dark Order needs Zane 66 and to clear some of this type of stuff up.
That's it. Right, Eric?
What? Fuck you. You just
You like bacon, right?
I love bacon.
Oh, there you go.
Next scene. This was a weird little scene that maybe I'm missing something on, but we get Allie the bunny. She walks past Brendan Cutler. They say, "Hi, how are you?" And when Brendan's not looking, she gives him the double bird from behind, and that's the scene.
Do you know what I wrote? What the fuck is going on? That's all I wrote in that. I remember it.
Was there something between the Allie and Brendan Cutler that I'm forgetting about that would make
the last thing that was on BTE that would even remotely kind of tie these two together wasn't it 2 weeks ago or last week when she was like, "I'm looking for Cutler. Have you seen him?"
Yeah,
that's right.
Party.
That's it. Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of too.
I can say this one thing about it though. Remember I told you they all play video games on the Sunday, right? I've watched them, and Brandon purposely tries to beat Allie at the games every single time. So if they're playing Among Us, Mini Putt, whatever it may be.
Oh, yeah, she did golf with friends on Sunday.
That's right. Remember in there, make it like, "Oh, I got to beat Allie" type thing. Yeah. So that's the only thing I can presume.
That must be it.
I have no clue.
So this is where the worlds kind of intertwine. Where if you're not watching them on Twitch and you're watching BTE, you have no clue, like me, of what the hell this is all about.
Right.
It's actually kind of smart. It's like good cross promotion, right?
Yep.
It is, and it's kind of the way of this modern world, the amount of media out there, and mix it all together.
But why? Matt Hardy's going to come along, get them to sign a contract, and take their Twitch money.
What?
As one does.
As one does.
as one Matt Hardy does, I guess.
That's perfect. Which brings us to the next segment.
Yes.
You like that?
Thank you very much, Rand. Excellent segue. We have Matt Hardy, which what I thought at first were contracts, but he's actually reviewing resumes. So he's been recruiting all over AEW. This Matt Hardy, you know what? As much of a dick he is, he's probably the smartest guy in AEW right now, just getting everyone to pay him their salary.
Or everybody else is just really, really dumb?
Yeah.
That could be it.
Speaking of really dumb, here come Private Party, and they're pissed at Matt Hardy for being embarrassed last week by him. But Matt Hardy lets them know that he did it because Mark Quinn called him a money-grabbing carny.
Which he is.
And Isaiah Cassidy even notes, he says the same thing. He's like, you kind of are. But Matt Hardy says they're stubborn and dumb, and that Private Party better win on Dark this week by any means necessary. Any means necessary.
What was that?
Any means necessary.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
That is by far the creepiest thing I've ever seen, when he grabs them by the back of the head and pulls them in and says it right into their ears.
Spitting in their ear.
yeah, he's like spitting in their ears. You know, it's the pandemic. You can't be that close to people.
That's what I... And you know what? I also put down in my notes, why are they scared? There's two of them.
Why they've let this go on for this long? It's really hard to sympathize with them as baby faces this far into this thing, because now they really are just coming across like Matt Hardy continually calls them now. It's just dumbasses. Yeah. We're gonna sign contracts, give you like half of our money, take your shit, just because they believe in this sales pitch by Matt Hardy, because he's such a wrestling legend. He's gonna take them to the top of the industry, which is their goal as performers. But in kayfabe world, they're just being treated like dumbasses, and week after week after week, you think they'd have a clue by now, but they're extending this storyline on, and there's going to be a payoff down the road. You know it's coming. But they're dragging it out a little bit longer.
Yeah. And like I said, a continuous theme going on in this episode. Right?
Duped.
Thank you for that word.
Yeah, Matt Hardy leaves the scene, and Isaiah Cassidy just quietly whispers to Mark Quinn, he's a fucking dick. Yeah! Matt Hardy, I heard that.
Good ears, too.
Right. Next scene, we have Chris Statlander.
Yay.
The alien herself, and mission log. Initial subject examination. Garrison, Griff. Mission failed. Evaluation of subject, much too big. But you know what? Brian Pillman Jr. should do. And she grabs him in a headlock, chicken wings him out of there, and she's abducted Brian Pillman Jr. now. So it didn't work with Griff Garrison, but she's got her next test subject, Brian Pillman Jr.
I wonder where this is going.
We will find out in 2 segments.
Oh.
Oh. Before that, though, we have Leva Bates. She's reading a book backstage, and we have her former ally, not the librarian, but Pretty Peter Avalon. He stops by to say hi.
PPA all day.
Hey, Leva, you've been winning a lot of matches lately. And she says, you know what, Peter, you too. And he's like, you had a nice holiday? He's like, yeah. Like, have you and I had a nice holiday? Yeah, we played it safe, just a little chit chat. And he's like, okay, we'll see you around. And they go in for an awkward hug, or no, it's an awkward handshake. And they do shake. Actually, no, that's it. They don't do anything, and they kind of just awkwardly say goodbye. So the meeting of the librarians is just some awkward hello backstage.
It kind of reminds me of like every single 2000s, like Not Another Teen Movie or something like that. It's like two high schoolers talking to each other that like each other.
That's what I said exactly too. I said awkward acknowledgements all through, like they were grade 11 X's. That's all it is.
What's the tease here, that they're gonna have a reunion, or is like, what's the next step if they have another bit? Like, what is this teasing?
Marriage, next year's beach blast. I'm joking. I don't know. Again, if they do get back together, imagine if they lose. They're better apart. Maybe that will happen. They'll get back together, and next thing you know, they'll go on a losing streak again. They know they shouldn't be together. And have that awkward, we have to be apart, but I love you, but you love me type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're being more successful apart as than when they were together, and now it's kind of like, we're doing well, but hey, how are you kind of thing?
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how are you? Not too shabby.
I swiped right on Tinder. I'm joking. I don't know. I'm 50 years old. I don't even know how to do Tinder, so I don't know what to just hear. Is swipe right good?
No, you got it. You just swipe
okay.
right, bud.
That's good then? Or is that bad?
That's good.
Oh, okay. No, then you just want to go buy it. So swipe left?
Swipe left is a big no-no.
Okay, so swipe left.
Swipe left. Next, we are back with Chris Statlander and her abducted Brian Pillman Jr. And he's tied up, sitting on a chair. Chris Statlander, she's across the table from him, and she's got a piece of paper with some words written out, and Statlander wants him to read each word one by one, slowly. And the paper says, I am Sofa King Stoop Ed. So Brian Pillman Jr. reads it back. I am so fucking stupid.
Fuck.
So this is what Chris Statlander wants to abduct people for, to make them read jokes and embarrass themselves. So Brian right? Brian Pillman.
I got you good, fucker.
I got you good, fucker. Brian Pillman Jr. is pissed off, untie me. Statlander says you're not even tied up, even though he clearly is. Got his hands bound behind his back by something. And she says, get out of my lair. Get out of my fucking spaceship. You're all up in my asteroid. And funny. Brian Pillman Jr. runs away. And so her first successful test has been completed. This is dumb.
So fucking stupid?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I read it 3 times on it. I agree. No, I agree. I totally agree. What do you think, Eric?
I don't know. I'm confused. So, like, I get her whole gimmick is that she's an alien or whatever, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. I'm not really a big Statlander fan to begin with, so maybe I'm the wrong audience for this, but
I feel with her though, she is a great wrestler, but she should just go with the flow and not. It seems like she's reading off a script when she says it. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Almost like the microphone, the earpiece in your ear type thing, and that she's reading it off. She should just be more herself, and that's supposedly the way she is. Like, she's a little weird, like all of us, but
I don't know what about that segment had anything to do with her gimmick of being an alien.
She's testing people. Maybe somebody's going to read it out differently. She'll show the paper, and then next thing you know, she'll come to Luchasaurus, and it'll say, I'm the smartest man alive type thing. You never know, right?
Speaking of the big dinosaur himself, we have Luchasaurus up next, and he's in the new EVP dressing room. And he says, you know what, these guys, the EVP stole it from the boys, and you know what, he's going to steal a cola out of the fridge just to get back at him. And as he's opening the fridge, Brendan Cutler catches him, and they start chirping each other about their upcoming match, including the F word. Brendan Cutler calls him a fossil.
What?
And an old man, a fossil.
A fossil?
The F word.
Only he can say that. You know that.
Right. And so a little segment here, hyping up their match. Is it going to be tomorrow on Dark? This week on Dark?
That's right.
Yeah, it's this week. I don't know. That's actually probably going to be a good match. Probably won't be one of the better matches on Dark this week.
I do like the dragon versus dinosaur aspect. That's pretty funny. It's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah.
But this could be the end of Brendan Cutler's winning streak. We'll find out. I could see Cutler beating Luchasaurus.
I could too. Somehow,
right?
Somehow. But
any other thoughts on this little program here, Cutler and Lucha?
Oh, I like it. I just again, remember we talked about it last week. Watch Lucha squash him in like 3 seconds. It'll put a bad name out to dragons everywhere, but it might happen. You never know.
The dragons.
Game of Thrones, they could have had it ended in like what 10 minutes in an episode if that was the case. But yeah, I guess I'll watch the match tomorrow for sure. It does have me interested.
I predict Cutler squeezes this out somehow because I think the storyline with Cutler's winning streak and stuff, if Lucha just crushes him, it's like, then where do you go from there? What does Luchasaurus get out of that for that quick win? And Cutler's whole gimmick right now is just shut right down.
But he can start being the big man that he is, right? He is the size of Wardlow. He is the size of Lance Archer. Why not start pushing him as a big man?
If you were to do that, I think there's a better way to do it than crushing Brendan Cutler on Dark.
True.
Like, I would have Luchasaurus beat someone credible on Dynamite. If you're to start to give him a legit big man push.
But look again, you might be right with Brendan Cutler winning, right? With Dark, like I said, I'm going to watch it tomorrow, and I think a lot of people are going to watch it tomorrow for that match. The same reason that we talked about Britt Baker in the previous about the waiting room, right? Now it's on Dynamite. So this might be the point where Brendan Cutler does beat Luchasaurus. Like, I'm going either way on this. And get up to Dynamite, we see him a little, maybe do a run for the TNT Championship. But I don't know. We'll have to find out tomorrow, and it got me interested in watching. So that's pretty good if you're going to get all those people into watching in that. So
last thing I'd say about that is, if you remember last week, Matt Hardy was offering him 3-contract Cutler to get him up to Dynamite. So, and he would have to beat Luchasaurus to kind of get to that aspect, right? So,
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah.
Moving on from there, we have our favorites. We
Yay.
have Kip Sabian and Leva Bates still going on about this video game stuff. And finally, Leva Bates comes clean. I let you win, Kip. And he's not having it. He's pissed. He wants one more match. In what game, they say, which was what I've been wondering this whole time. They say, I don't know. But they agree to have one more match, one more showdown. And Leva says, I'ma beat you, bitch.
Gonna beat you, bitch. Gonna beat you, bitch.
So I feel like I've been repeating myself for 4 weeks in a row about this exact segment that every BTE has. Yeah.
Remind me.
I can't come up with a word that would be not nice to say.
Oh.
Who gives a fuck is what you mean to say. So.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Up next, we have our boy John Silver and the BTE Championship title match. And we have another one at John Silver's awkwardly hilarious intro. Hey, my name's John. I'm a belt. I have the belt. I'm number one. Huh? What? You say something? I'm the champion. I'm going to play beer pong against my friend Alex, and the winner gets the belt.
Yay.
So this week, it's beer pong with bottle caps instead of ping pong balls because Brendan Cutler didn't want to wait and one more day to go get ping pong balls. So they got water bottle caps. Alex Reynolds against John Silver in beer pong. And Reynolds with a little shit talk right off the hop says, John, I love you, but I'm going to butter your biscuit. And John says, I like buttered biscuits. And we got Sean Dean, Panda, Orange Cassidy, and Alan Angel is number 5 watching the game. And they start playing. There's a lot of shit talk back and forth. And John Silver handily beats him. It's like, I think Alex Reynolds gets 1 cup. Silver drains 5. Is there anything else you guys had to note during it?
Yeah, so there was a main thing right off the bat. I know I've played beer pong with Matt before. I don't know. I've never played with Randy, but did you notice he overshoots the cup right away?
And they don't take away a cup.
They don't take away a cup, or I've even played where like you get the ball back to you and it's returned. Don't take away a cup, but you get penalized in some sort. I was like, what the fuck is that? Also, what? Silver says first mud, and Orange Cassidy just loses his shit. And he's like, first mud? What the fuck does that even mean? And he says, first guy to mud their pants, which I thought, nothing wrong with a good poop joke,
Yeah.
One.
And then the other part of it, too, is poor 5. It doesn't matter what segment he's in. They're like, fuck you, 5. Shut up, 5. Fuck this 5. Shut the fuck up all the time. I actually did go out today and I bought a t-shirt and a 10 t-shirt, to be honest with you, but a 5 t-shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees, and I feel so sorry for that guy because no matter what he does, he's always getting shit on. The second thing is, I think they were hammered, and this was like 4:30 in the morning because they all didn't look like they were fully there. So
this is probably like the 5th BTE title match segment they had filmed in a row.
Yeah,
something like that. But for Alan Angels, I would say don't feel bad for him because this dude's getting more attention now than he ever has in his career with this gimmick. And I think he's doing a great job.
he is.
And one day, he's going to shove it all back in their faces. And that's going to be an ultimate build. All this bullshit he's taken from everyone, he's going to get his one day.
That's it.
He'll be like TNT champion one day or something. Watch.
But they were laughing.
Who knows?
Everybody, like, sitting watching it was laughing hysterically all through it. Like, I don't know what they, there was that one thing where Panda goes, what was it? We didn't play beer pong where I got my GED in school, asshole.
Yeah.
Right? So
I didn't go to college.
Yeah.
That one was funny, or the Reynolds when he's like, "Are we playing drink before you shoot?" Yeah. Is this your first fucking time playing the game? Come on.
And to what Eric was saying though too about the rules, one thing I've learned over time is every house or every place you go to play beer pong, everyone seems to have their own different rules.
Like
I'll play beer pong with one group of guys and they got their rules, and you go to a party at a different place and they got different rules, and the guys argue about, we're playing our house rules, fuck your rules. And some people have the overshot rule and some people don't. Some people allow bouncing and some people don't. So beer pong, it's probably got more different styles and rules of any game out there.
Yeah. But like Crazy Eights, like I was just saying. That's exactly what it is. You go to somebody's house and play Crazy Eights.
Exactly like Crazy
4 to
Eights,
go
right?
left, 4 go right, 4 to Jack miss a turn, pick up 17, whatever it may be, right? So that's what I don't know. And Uno, right? We've been talking about this already with Uno. But it doesn't matter. It's always fun seeing those segments. I always like watching it. And I guess, you know what? I think Silver might be one of the longest reigning champions. He's going to be coming up to Moxley's title reign.
He's only got about 16 months to go.
Yeah, but still, he's like the second longest. Longest.
At this rate, he could definitely hold this title for a year at the rate he's going.
Yeah.
We did not get an announcement of what next week's game's going to be, so I'm interested to see where they go from here.
Yeah, I think they'd start taping tomorrow, right? Me and Eric and I were talking about it earlier this week. So they go back tape, because I was trying to look to see about the Adam Page scenario, but yeah, they go back tomorrow. Evil Uno was playing video games last night. I watched him, so.
True. So to wrap up the BTE title match, John Silver wins, and he says, "Tie me up, because I've been a bad fucking boy." And Alex Reynolds gives him a little kiss on the forehead. They're boys. John Silver says, "You've been a worthy opponent and a good friend." We get a thumbs up from the two guys. And John, I hope to see you down the road. Okay. And
Sure.
right. So now John Silver's won this. Now, not only is he a mustard boy, a Skittle boy, he's now a bottle boy. And he's the most dominant champion in the fucking world. Everyone else can suck my butt.
Mud boy.
I forgot about that. That was great.
Up next, we have the Young Bucks with their luggage in the EVP room they've acquired from Matt Hardy. They're at the end of the loop here in Jacksonville, and they're getting ready to catch a flight when Matt Hardy enters the room. He says he loves the new room, and as they just get talking, Isaiah Cassidy kind of just comes through the door quickly, and they tell him to get out of there. And he says, "Oh, sorry," and shuts the door, and Matt Hardy says to the Young Bucks, he says, "Those guys, they're so dumb."
Yeah.
So Private Party's still getting ripped on by Matt Hardy. But the Young Bucks say the key that they got from Matt Hardy last week doesn't work. It doesn't work in the door. And Matt Hardy says if you read the contract, it said that he's the only one who can lock or unlock the room. So anytime you need to open the room, you got to come find Matt Hardy. Not Nick Jackson. I'm like, okay, that's weird. That's kind of stupid. And Matt Hardy puts his hand out. Is he looking for a handshake? Is he looking for a too sweet? And Matt Hardy shakes his hand, or Matt Jackson shakes Matt Hardy's hand, where he quickly gives himself a little bit of hand sanitizer. He's like, no. I'm looking for payment. How much money do you guys got on you right now? Matt Jackson pulls out like, I don't know, $100, $200.
Yeah, it was $200.
And Nick Jackson's like, oh, I got a lot. He pulls out $720. They fork it all over to Matt Hardy. So he rakes in like almost a cool grand here. And he says, you know what? That's pretty good. You guys are set for the week. So he's looking for a cool $1,000 a week for the new EVP dressing room. And like we've been saying, Nick Jackson sums it up. He says, are we all just dumb baby faces around here? Between the Young Bucks and Private Party, just getting taken advantage of by Matt Hardy. But the Young Bucks say we're shoot millionaires. Our kids are taken care of. Our grandkids are taken care of. Thank God we got all this money, but still paying $1,000 for this room kind of sucks. And Matt Jackson says, you know what? I don't even know what I signed last week. I'm pretty sure I signed a blank piece of paper. And we got a flashback to the autograph face of Matt Jackson just signing a blank piece of paper. And that is essentially the end of BTE this week of Young Bucks have to pay Matt Hardy $1,000 a week for a room they don't have access to without Matt Hardy's permission.
That's it. 10 years ago, they were begging to sleeping on people's couches, and now they're paying $1,000 a week for a dressing room. Man, their pay scale went up pretty good. Eh?
It's all about forward progress.
No, forward progress. I get it.
They were willing to pay Tony Khan all those thousands of dollars in fines not too long ago. They can line Matt Hardy's pockets a little bit more. Come on.
Yeah, true. Read the book. I've seen back there. Young Bucks killing the business since day one. Matt got his too.
I got mine too. It's in my bedroom. I haven't quite finished it. I'm about halfway through.
Yeah, so, Bucks getting screwed all over. Matt Hardy screwing everybody too. They're screwing everywhere. I have no clue. It was a good episode. It was okay episode. I wouldn't say it was
okay.
It wasn't one of their better ones. I'm looking forward to Wednesday, and I'm looking forward to next week, especially with Adam Page's answer. What about you, Eric? What did you dislike about it?
It was a good episode. I mean, Dark Order is always good. So I mean, like any Dark Order bit that we kind of seen today was good. Especially the BTE Championship match was great. I like the whole idea of Silver and Reynolds versus each other, like because they have good chemistry in general, right?
Right. And
not to mention, I don't know, you kind of get the hype up on the Luchasaurus match, you know what I mean? Luchasaurus and Cutler match. It's a pretty good episode. I wouldn't say best so far this year, but it was still pretty good.
Matt?
I'm not really feeling some of these storylines that they're pushing right now. Like, I'm very sick of this Matt Hardy private party shit. Like, I've kind of been giving it a chance for a while now, and it's in the same place it's been for weeks now. It hasn't really progressed anywhere. And I don't like the Matt Hardy stuff I get is new gimmick. Like, I'm down for the new gimmick, but it's so much of it. And now, like, the Young Bucks have this great thing going on with Kenny, Don Callis, and Gallows and Anderson, but they're also now tied up with this goofiness with Matt Hardy of signing a fake contract for a dressing room. And, like, I don't know. It's like, it's not that funny, not that entertaining. Where's it going? Like, it just makes, I don't know, the Young Bucks and Private Party look like idiots, and that's supposed to be the punchline.
Right.
And I don't know, like, it's not really doing it for me. They've definitely had better stuff in the past. Like,
you already noticed there wasn't this week? No, Alex.
Abrahantes?
Yeah.
That stuff's been drowning too. The Chris Statlander stuff, not that great. Like, the Kip Sabian stuff every week, still shit. That Abrahantes stuff hasn't been great. I think BTE is kind of struggling a bit right now. The Dark Order is still carrying the show. They're still funny. They're still entertaining. I'm interested in the Bullet Club stuff with Kenny, the Bucks, Anderson, and Gallows, and Don Callis. But the Matt Hardy private party stuff, I'm tired of it, to be honest. And, like, the Young Bucks, like, signing this pretend contract for a dressing room with Matt Hardy, and there's a lot of kind of stuff on there right now I'm not really digging. Like the Brendan Cutler bunny stuff and Brendan Cutler and Lucha. Yeah, it's cute little stuff that takes up a total of 49 seconds of the show. You know, so I don't know. All in all, I have not been too happy with kind of the stuff the last couple weeks. But I also kind of think it's a little bit of a symptom of post-Christmas, post-New Year's, post-Brody Lee, and kind of
Blue Monday.
I feel like they need to kind of I don't know, come up with some hotter stuff, like for storyline wise, or to be engaged in. Because some, like, to be honest, like a lot of this stuff is real cheesy right now. It's always been cheesy, but I don't know, like more so than normal.
Well, as far as the Matt Hardy and Young Bucks thing, I think it just kind of, I didn't mind it this week only because it tied into the beginning of it. It's like, because we talked about that too after New Year's Smash Night too as well. Like, why did they let the Good Brothers just go in? Why didn't they stop the match? Like,
That's
you know what I mean?
That's
That doesn't make
wrestling
any
logic.
sense.
Yeah, that shit happens in wrestling. That's wrestling logic, I guess, where you kind of have to put that. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
But you know what I mean? Like to me, if I see that, I'm like, okay, well, they're backstabbing us. I better go do something. Like, even storyline progress doesn't really make a lot of sense for them to not go out and do something, right?
But at least they kind of like this happened on Dynamite, their main show on TNT with like almost 1 million viewers, and at least they had something where the Young Bucks did confront them after, like they let the match go on. They were middle fingering them backstage, pissed about it, and they did talk about it backstage. And they didn't. They, to the face of Kenny and them, they kind of bought the bullshit, but as soon as they left, they called bullshit on it.
Yeah.
So there's now a little dissension there between the Bucks and the other guys. So at least that's like tied into the TV show, tied into the main angles. But I don't know, some of the other, like the Matt Hardy private party stuff and the Matt Hardy Young Bucks stuff, it's kind of just.
I 100% agree with the private party stuff, because that's been going on too long. That needs to wrap up. I'm hoping with their match, because they're on Dynamite this week, right? So I'm hoping that match.
Private party?
Yeah.
No, they're on Dark.
They're on Dark. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm hoping with that can kind of wrap up next week. Like either they give him the boot, or they, like, you know what I mean? That has to wrap up soon.
It's going to go on for a bit, my friend.
Yeah, it is. It's going to go on for a bit, and it's already been going on for. That's kind of like my thing. Or it's like the Matt Hardy stuff. It's been going on for a while, but now like the Young Bucks are wrapped into. I don't know, just the whole. Like Nick Jackson even said, like everyone's thinking the baby faces are all fucking dumbasses. Yeah. Like that's the part like I'm really struggling with, where it's like it's not even funny. It's so hard to buy into, of like this whole signing the contract, not reading the fine print, letting Matt Hardy walk all over everyone. Like it was isolated with private party, but now the Young Bucks are involved in it too. While they also have a main event angle going on too, right?
But if that's the case, they're very self-aware too, and they're definitely gonna, they know which way to sway it properly. You know what I mean? So
yes,
it might be another week or two of this. I agree. Yeah, it could be like a week or two of some shit. But
I have faith in the Young Bucks, because they always kind of deliver on these long-term storylines. And maybe I'm ripping it now, and I totally changed my tune in a week or two. But I feel like they've done, like, of all the history of BTE and following it this whole time, of all the different angles and storylines and bits and gimmicks and stuff they've done, I just feel a lot of the stuff right now is some of their weaker stuff. Yeah. Like I'm not that invested in, like, even like the Kip Sabian stuff, the Brandon Cutler and Luchasaurus. Like it's just little, like Chris Statlander stuff I think is garbage. Like not in, so like, but this is almost like they're trying to do new things with some different people. But anyway, it's just a critique. I love the show. I love all the guys involved, and I'm not trying to be too harsh at all, but just kind of saying, like, I don't think it's the greatest stuff going on right now.
Well, all in all, I look forward to every Monday to watch this and then talk about it afterwards. So even a bad show to me is a great show. I'm fully entertained. It does make me laugh. As long as I get one chuckle a week out of it, I'm happy with whatever. Even with Matt Hardy, if I have to see him to get that one chuckle. So
absolutely.
Did you got any thank yous or anything, Eric, that we can go forward with?
Yeah, if you can, give us a follow on Twitter at Dark Side of the E, on Instagram at Dark Side of the Elite. All the links will be in the description of either your podcast app or on YouTube. Check us out. Also, give us a follow on our personal socials. I made sure to post those just in case you guys want to see what we're up to. Matt, you got anything you want to thank, or anybody?
Anyone wants to hit me up, give me a follow on Twitter. I'm at mroberts85. Again, hit us up on the Facebook group, like Eric said. I want to thank all the millions and millions of listeners out there who love the show, interact with us. We love it and look forward to talking to you guys again next week.
Good points. Yeah, go follow Matt on Twitter for sure. He's pretty active on it. He loves his Twitter. So thank you again to everybody listening. I guess thanks to Radio Free Pro Wrestling for having me on their show on Saturday. If you haven't heard it, just look up for the clips on RadioFreeProWrestling.com. Big week, like I said earlier, coming up. We got Holden Albright and also Imran Khan, Handsy, doing an interview with, so he'll be part of the shows. Really looking forward to that. And I guess until next week, come on, join us.
Throw the paws up.